Hello, and welcome back to the Geek on My Sleeve channel. We're here to do a spoiler free book review of Rogue Dungeon, a lit RPG adventure, The Rogue Dungeon, Book 1 by James Hunter and Eden Hudson. It is narrated by Nick Podell. Rogue Dungeon is unique in the lit RPG space because instead of being like everyday humans being trapped in a video game, it deals with a plane of existence or essentially a fantasy realm that already has magic. And due to circumstances, a teleportation spell goes wrong, of which he finds himself in a RPG, but it also adds a similar twist like Life Reset does, where he is a mob or a monster. And for me, that is a nice new flavor because I'm as much as I love lit RPGs, it's kind of only so many ways you can do the he got trapped in a video game, and it's refreshing to have a new angle where you're from another world that already has magic and which plays a very big part in this book of it kind of takes a log horizon approach to now that you are native or inside the game, you're able to influence elements based off of prior knowledge, so to speak. I know it's very vague, but this was a new or different approach that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Right there with you, Pete. So, like you said, in a lot of ways, lit RPGs are all cut from the same cloth, right? Quote, wrapped in a video game in some fashion or another. There's different takes on it, there's different angles, but it's kind of the reoccurring theme that we run into. Rogue Dungeon changes that up where instead of coming from like our realm of existence, it's from a quote fantasy realm, which is kind of fun. And I knew it was a lit RPG when I started it, yet it kind of took me a minute because I was waiting to see where we fell with the lit RPG ness or whatever. And yeah, so to go from like that fantasy realm, some portal magic, end up in an actual video game. And one of the big things that you kind of watch for with the lit RPG genre is like, how do they make it real? How do they make it intense? How do they really make us feel that sense of like danger? Get us invested in the characters' challenge or struggle. And it's been overdone to have the overpowered main character who, gets all the best epic stats. So like Pete was saying with Life Reset to be thrown into the role of an average or not even average, like a lowly mob and deal with the realm world game stacked against you is a lot of fun. It's the underdog story, right?
It was refreshing because it takes not just the video game elements, it takes the video game elements along with the other fantasy world elements and create something new first off. And then it's very much an origin story or started from the bottom, level one, nothing to where we end up, which I always enjoy. Um, Overpowered is kind of a given because we're the main character, so we're awesome. But it also, in the space of lit RPGs, like if you die, you respawn. There are consequences to it, And yeah, not to dive too much because it's spoiler free, but that is another element that really solidifies consequences to your actions where yes, it's not the final death, but it does seriously hinder you to where you want to play a little more conservative or you want to power up more prior to solidify your success.
I'm embarrassed how long we've had this in our library waiting to check it out. Those who are new to the channel, Lit RPG is becoming one of our favorite genres to play in the space of. Um, Both of us being gamers, used to be diehard gamers slash part-time job MMORPG players. Like Lit RPGs just scratch an itch in a way that so many of these other books do not scratch, and the Rogue Dungeon is a lot of fun. The first book, great installment. They're really quick read slash listens. Um, Much more on the shorter side of things, yet, um, for the first book, I feel like you get enough out of it, enough of a little taste of the world to make you want to come back and get some more. On the Goodreads, it has a solid quote from um, our boy Dakota Kraut, who we've covered a lot of his content on there. So a lot of big names have also shouted out the Rogue Dungeon series for the Lit RPG genre. If this is something you're into, definitely check it out.
So, thank you for making it to the end of the video. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below whether you're going to be picking up the book, if you've already picked up the book, if you have other lit RPGs that you would like us to cover, as well as if we should be incorporating this into our Geek Out, which is every Sunday live, in depth, spoiler filled book discussions. And we hope to geek out with you here soon.